The Book of Origin, page 169 to 172 of the Epistles of Lord Satan, an expression of theistic Satanism. In the beginning, there existed the great cosmic mother of all, whose secret name, or word of power, is Mu. Besides the great mother, there existed, neither separate from nor united with her, the four goddesses of the elements: Mur, goddess of fire; Murat, goddess of air; Murataz, goddess of water; Muratazaraz, goddess of earth. By a process of parthenogenesis, the great mother begat the first fruit of her womb, Lord Satan. Lord Satan illuminated the void as a greenish-yellow, 12-pointed star. The four goddesses danced around him and acknowledged him as their Lord, the precious issue of the great cosmic mother of all. Thus, Lord Satan, his mother, and the four goddesses were exalted in the bliss of each other's company, and the unmanifest, all universe, consisted of this company and no other. Now, as Lord Satan matured, he grew amorous of the four goddesses, who had become his handmaidens. So he asked his mother if he might lie with them, and she granted this request, knowing that by such unions the manifest all universe would be created. So, as the four goddesses danced round their Lord, one by one, they lay with him, and together their unions with him begat the cosmos. From the union of Lord Satan and the fire goddess Mur begat they the whole of space. From the union of Lord Satan and the air goddess Murat begot they the unfolding of time. From the union of Lord Satan and the water goddess Murataz begat they the sum total of all protomatter. From the union of Lord Satan and the earth goddess Muratazaraz begat they the sum total of all matter. And at the birth and creation of space, time, protomatter, and matter, the great cosmic mother of all, acting as midwife to each of the four goddesses, made each element infinite, so that there might be no end, and that even unto these elements there would be no beginning. Thus the cosmos made she separate from her, and the four goddesses, and Lord Satan. Yet the manifest all universe was like a small jewel contained in an hourglass, so that the celestial family could see their handiwork, and at the fullness of all things they could wonder. And to each element she gave the power of infinite expansion and infinite evolution, from the birth of the hydrogen atom to the galaxies, the evolution of the intelligent forms of life, intelligent life forms, and of humanity, and from protomatter, the multi-dimensional universe, the immortal gods and goddesses, and all the multi-dimensional beings, and also the seeds of the magical entities that every human would acquire as his or her magical self. From the combined process of creation, when the four goddesses had lain with their Lord, was builded the great hall of the gods, and with the gods and goddesses, the multidimensional beings, the great mother, the four goddesses of elements, and Lord Satan lived and took their pleasure. Then, one day, the great cosmic mother of all took her beloved son aside and said unto him, I make this prophecy. Ye shall be pleased to find upon one planet an orbit about one sun in one galaxy in the universe that has been created, a certain evolved species of animal, which, being intelligent, shall be open to thy presence and to the presence of all the gods, so that you all shall tarry long on this planet, which shall be called Terra, and you all shall delight in the company of this species of animal, known as human, and the human shall delight in the knowledge of you. At this, Lord Satan became exceedingly joyous. Now, there's a second book of origin, but we're not sharing that this time. And a hot day in the cotton field is the Nargargole Shlod track that we hear behind us. And you notice that I corrected to the evolution of the intelligent life forms and of humanity, and from proto-matter, the multidimensional universe, the mortal gods and goddesses, and all the multidimensional beings, and also the seeds of the magical entities. Every human would acquire his or her magical self. Now, I think that's the first thing that we should comment on, is it's analogous to this Devata thing. And we have aspects of ourselves that relate to these various entities. And as we become, then they also relate more to us. And the spelling magic with an extra K in it, well, I mean, there's only one K added, and there's no K usually in the word magic. You'll recognize from the seasonal 5 of these names mentioned here. And of course, Satan is given 3 variations of that, but we'll get into that another time. We think of the myths of Tiamat, Tumtum, Tum, Tum, and the people, Kulashtan, those who wander for this she-Satan. And this 12-pointed star, for some reason, some of the text only mentioned 11, and so people get into this thing about 11, but it's really 12. So the entities that you would consider the zodiacal entities are brought up here. And one of the things that you find in a lot of polytheistic myths is this creation story incest thing going on. And so that's one of the things we have to deal with here. But of course, we're not talking about entities like the humans. This is, of course, connected to a pre-creation thing. So some of the problems that are going to exist when humans and other creatures do that, we're not even talking on the same plane, and we're not talking beings that have the same essence. Now, as far as from the Epistles of Lord Satan, it's talked of as there's 3 types of literature. And so the first type of literature in this massive book that I think is still available on Lulu, I don't think I've checked since I bought it years ago, although I've been on Lulu, but yeah, it should still be available, or some of his files still should be. But the first group is the type of things that are said to be the communications to Nargargole Shlod, are Rite 23 Geist, from Lord Satan. And this myth that's presented here kind of is between something European and something that people would call Hindu. But what matters is in our lives is like the last statement that caused the extreme joy. This statement of how, hey, but we're on one planet. We're in one area of the universe. We're related to one type of animal, which we incarnate. And the human is just something we're known as. So the humans, so the vehicle delights in the knowledge of it. And the knowledge of the greater cosmic order is related to it. And so that's, in a sense, what we're working with. And at some time, I'm probably going to go through the whole book and write my own versions, per se, or my own things more thoughtfully bounced off